Yes, hello to you all, and I welcome you to what essentially will be my channel. Because who else is on this channel? No one. Now this channel kind of looks bare right now. It has 4 videos, of course, that I've been uploading in quick succession. But in today's little video here, I'm going to sort of delve into what you probably will expect on this channel. As a sort of bit of an introductory channel for what you expect in the future.
Let's just jump into this, guys.
First, let me delve on the ones that you've probably already seen on this channel, and that is of course Weird Mind Newsroom. This one is going to be a weekly series thing that will go over some of the releases of this week based on the releases from my country, some new trailers from upcoming releases, as well as talk about some areas of news based on likes of media, from casting announcements, release dates, announcement change, and all other things of media. I also know again in these videos I will delve some special interest pieces that may also form into its own little small video I might add to the channel that some may have wanted to be promoted, and I will give it a little bit of time to show off to others. Now, I'm open to show any of them, just as long as it's not hateful or offensive. I don't want to promote hate, I want to promote inclusivity, diversity, and positivity and wholesomeness kind of thing. Just, I don't want to be, spiteful and hateful. These at the moment are releasing midweek, but I plan to try and at least have it by the end of the week for most times. Projection released like Sunday to Monday kind of projection for have them done. It just needs time filming it better and all other stuff. But basically that's my projection for that one. The other video you might have seen on this channel is of course a review for the Mario movie, which you can check out in the link description down below or check on my channel. This is sort of ones I will probably do over time when I have a review written on my blog, whether it's going to be focused for movies, which I have a few at the moment, some currently released ones, 1 or 2 from the last couple of weeks, some TV shows, 1 or 2 from this year, as well as even some like video games. Some might be reviews and some might get turned into video essays, it may depend, and then some books and even some music, if you want to be interested in my music taste, because it's probably not the most appealing of music tastes. But yeah, I'll talk on that down the line, and once I have my stuff on it, you can see it over time. Most times, usually the review will be done first. You can check it on my blog, and then the videos will come shortly after, but you get the idea.
I say, prepare to be written!
The next one ties a little bit into reviews, or on topical stuff of media, or things you like. So essentially with video essays. Now what I kind of have in mind I want to do at some point in the next couple of weeks is on the basis about reviews. We know the basis of difference between that you see a lot of strong ones usually for early reactions and social media and test screening reactions, and then they're completely different to what they might have said in the actual review when the film comes out in cinemas or on streaming, or you get the idea. And it's the basis, the same thing with some films that are completely different to what they saw the test audiences to what they actually saw in the actual release. But I'll delve onto that soon enough. Some of them will come to my head over time, and when I do, I will talk about them once they interest me. And if you have any ideas that you want to hear of interest, let me know down below and I will definitely do a video on them. So this next one will be retrospectives and lookbacks or rewatchathons. So the first side of things is going to look back at some old pieces of media that may have interested me and do sort of an in-depth episode by episode basis or a history look back. One in mind currently with me that I want to talk on is a show that released back in the early 2010s, had 3 seasons, had a TV movie finale, and it was actually just a US remake that spawned from a series made in Germany, and that was exactly the same but set in a different location and had a much longer series. I am currently in the process of trying to find the actual original version of the series, but it's hard to come by. And if anyone knows where I could find an actual pretty good full version of it with maybe subtitles in English, I'm good with that. Or if someone has found a dub of it, that'd be great. But as of right now, that might take a bit of a process. I could do into a 2-parter video or a 4-parter one where first 3 is focused on the series, 4th part is when I go back to the original one, but I'll work on it. And as for the rewatchathons, this is where I'll delve into some of the film franchises or topical ideas for rewatch. Some of them examples would be I'll go over the MCU and DCEU with their movies. Not sure how to focus on it. Maybe just with the MCU might delve on each character. Do ones like animation like Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks, Laika, etc. Some smaller franchises like The Wizarding World, if it's not controversial, Middle Earth, the Lego movies or stuff from Lord and Miller, kind of things. Or even some wider ones, so like Best Picture winners of each year. Or even some of the worst movies ever made or box office bombs. Stuff like that. But hopefully I can make them funny, because I don't know if I consider myself to be much of a comedic genius, but I hope that you tune in for them. And if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them as well.
What's the story in Balamori?
I'm buzzing at my tits.
Now, in the likes of story times, as you mentioned, this will be done in sort of a few ways. One of them will be on the focus related back to Weird Mind Newsroom, where some topics on the news one I might just breeze by a bit quickly on, like some, new tech items or different like release stuff or casting news or updates on certain stuff like the strike. And I might have just glanced over them quickly because I didn't want the video to go on way too long, but I will probably talk about them a bit further on, and if there's any ideas anytime during the weeks in the videos that might interest you and you want to see, let me know down below and I'll probably might do a longer video on kind of thing. The other option, basically an idea in mind, is basically where I sit down in a fancy robe or in a chair and read some books, because I do like to read, and if you see my blogs, I do like to write a lot as well. But in the base of this case where I read through like novels or book series, but do them in the wrong way possible. Not in the case that essentially where I don't read properly, but more in an instance of doing it in a sort of odd tone. So say, for example, I read a horror book, but doing a lighthearted, goofy, comedic tone with goofy noises and funny voices. Or something that might be sort of a light read and it turns into a smutty romance novel. You get the idea of that. But anyway, the basis of it is that I will try and work out the kinks and still look at my collection, see what might work for stuff like that. And if you have any ideas for, might show a photo of my collection to see if you have any ideas for what I can do with some of them, of like different genres, or if you have some books of your own that you want to see me try and obtain and do like a comedy joke on, let me know down below. I will honestly sort of look into it, and if they interest me, I'll probably pick them up.
Yep, it's gamer time.
Now, one I do want to get to at some point in the future, once I figure out the setup and everything like that, is gaming. Because I love to play video games. If you've already seen for the case I mentioned, I want to do reviews and stuff. Well, basically, I need to figure out some items I need to use to get like capture footage and all different stuff and all the different consoles and PC and all different things I have to basically capture the performance of stuff. I need to figure out something for like VR ones. But anyway, this will of course be doing in case of me playing some games that recently released, like Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy, or something like that. Some of them that might be one-offs, like games that are not too long of a series I might look into, like even like some suggestions of your own, and even some old ones I really enjoyed, like some horror games or games like, let's say off the top of my head, like maybe a Crash Bandicoot or like Epic Mickey or something like that. Ones I enjoyed as a kid or when I was younger, but you get the gist of it. And maybe at some point as well, if I get things working, I will get to the likes of live streaming on the likes of YouTube or Twitch, just once I figure it all out. And when I have the chance to do it, if I'm not working, if I'm not out at some events or anything like that, or spending some important quality time with my lovely girlfriend, love you, or some friends and family. But I will work on it. I'll figure it out. I'll look into this stuff. You get the idea.
You can't handle the truth.
This next one is a bit more down the line once I have a bit of a big more following, with a big if on that, if people like my stuff, or I'm just going to have a small following here. Maybe even like twice a month or once every 1 or 2 months, I might do a bit of a lengthy Q&A video and answer some of your questions. Maybe try to make them entertaining or funny and answer them as honest and best I can do so, if they satisfy your needs. When I do want to make a Q&A video, I will ask in the comments over time and get some like questions and write them down and even answer them in a coming video. But I'll see further down when I get more of a following, but you get the gist of that. Now, this is one that a few of you may have remembered from years ago, but it might be a bit of a long shot to others who might be watching this. But anyway, a few years ago, mainly on my social media of Snapchat, I used to make random skits. Stuff for basically where I get concept characters, you made from prop items, and do some weird stuff that might be long ones or short ones now and again. And for those of you that did watch and do remember them, I appreciate you watching them, even if though they may have been terrible in your eyes. But I have no idea. But yeah, I may try and bring them back or try and make some new ideas, more sort of upscaled versions of ideas. Or I might have somewhere around on like some piece of paper document somewhere that I have concepts for. But I'll figure it out. If you want me to do them, just let me know. Now, it's not just going to be YouTube I'll be staying on, because I did also mention Twitch, but I have ideas maybe even for some other social medias, particularly with like some Instagram and maybe at some point even to delving with TikTok. I need to figure some ideas for TikToks, maybe just throw up some promotional bits in there or kind of other things like that, you know, make up like kind of try relatable comedy if I can find anything that has been not done that's relatable comedy and actually relates to people. I don't know. And yeah, let's see what happens. Just might promote my longer videos and even future collabs or whatever stuff, but I'll see what happens with that. I just gotta figure out how to function better on the TikToks.
Loud noises!
So the last one I will bring up is that I will of course may do some random stuff now and again, not relating to them at all, like maybe some form of experiments, recent stuff like one concept I have was from last year where I made a animated visual choose your own adventure style narrative. Now it's not fully animated. It is all in animation, but it's only a few bits are actual moving animation. If I have more time, I might try and maybe go back in the future and make like more better animation, or if people want to update it, I don't know. I might release it over time. If I'm working on other stuff, I can at least delve into the other bits like some backstory to my life, what I hope to achieve in the future, updates for like the hope I make for the month or year, and so much more, but I'll get to that when I get to it.
Why?
And that's essentially what you will see from me in the future on this channel and some other stuff connected. I might have some more ideas in the future, but right now that's kind of the ones I want to sort of delve on and work for the future. Now the question you may have been asking yourself is, why? Why am I doing this channel? Well, to give a little bit of a hindsight, I've always wanted to make a name for myself, leave a mark on like sort of a positive mark of things. And I've always had a very keen interest in media ever since I was younger. I just wanted to like in the future if I would like make movies or make entertaining content or like, you know, act and stuff, do things like that. And it's a case where I've wanted to make this YouTube for years now, maybe nearly like 5 or 6 years now. It's just a case that I didn't have pretty much courage in myself, kind of thing, because for most of my life I've had a serious amount of anxiety. I'm a very nervous person. I'm very shy. I may look calm now while doing this video, but I am literally fucking freaking out. It's also a case I feel like no one really wants to listen to some young 20-something of talking about things I want to create in the future or things on like media. But I do hope that maybe people might be interested over time, you know. It's a long journey, of course. I'm not expecting like to have success overnight. That's kind of a thing. Do I feel like that all these videos are going to be amazing? Of course not. Not everyone is going to like them, of course, or my thoughts on things, but I love to hear any form of feedback, what you think, or enjoying your opinions on certain things. But I would love the feedback, because kind of case to help me improve on stuff, you know, kind of areas of like, oh, this needs better editing, or this needs some like, you know, better visuals of things. But it's kind of a process. It's also a case where I kind of want to make it more of a positive and wholesome community, because let's face it, the world today, it's a lot negative. It's a given. A lot of things is just, you know, like there's just so much spite and hate and just, you know, turmoil. People are divided, and it's just sort of a case with this channel. I kind of want to make it more of a, you know, a welcoming community, a sort of a more of a wholesome community, as well as just, you know, make it a bit of an effort to try and sort of keep it positive and sort of make the world a bit more of a brighter place kind of thing. As it's the case anyway, that I would love to hear any topics you might be interested in, you know, you feel like that other people don't really want to talk about, you know, sort of more positive ones, or bring like attention to something and make it more of a positive thing. That's kind of an ideal of what I want to do. And in the future, I want to do things, you know, give back to a community, like, you know, do topics and events, like go to events and things, like, you know, special screenings, premieres, like charity events and stuff like that. Or even create my own charity events and just like, you know, help back a community in all different ways. Like I will look into that in the future, especially with like, you know, live streaming and stuff like that. But if there's any ideas you have in mind, let me know. I will have a look at them and even try and implement in some way. Anyway, I've talked on long enough, and this was supposed to be a short introduction video, but I don't know how to process time management here. Sorry. But I do hope you will enjoy what I make in the future, and if you do, why not subscribe and get notified when I upload. I plan to upload at least once a week, unless specified that I'm unavailable or sick or something like that, and even share around to others that you may enjoy my content. But after all that, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I may keep it as just my name, or even a case I might change it in the future, but I'll figure that out. But anyways, I hope you stay being wonderful people, and I'll see you soon. Take care.